This is the gameplay for Legionella pnuemophila. Welcome! You will be learning about Legionella pnuemophila. You will be given information along the way about the pathogen for your research at Cardinal Hospital. To save your patient, you must answer quiz questions correctly. Click on the flags to move on the next level. Legionella pnuemophila are gram-negative bacilli but can grow to be more filamentous in nature. Gram-negative bacteria have thin peptidoglycan walls and an outer membrane. They also carry the endotoxin lipid A, which can bring about the immune system responses such as fevers. Legionella pnuemophila can be spread via water droplets in the air or ingestion of contaminated drinking water. Once inside the body, the bacteria travels down the alveolar macrophages and begins to reproduce. The sudden increase of these pathogens cause the immune system to recruit white blood cells to fight off the infection. This results in inflammation of the alveoli and lead to respiratory symptoms such as coughing. And above you can see a picture of alveolar macrophages. The type 4 secretion system, T4SS, codes for several virulent proteins and helps the bacterium avoid degradation by lysosomes and phagocytes. These proteins can infect macrophages and neutrophils and allow Legionella to replicate inside of them. As infected cells accumulate in the lungs, neutrophils are attracted to the site of infection by inflammatory receptor interleukins-1. Monocytes are also drawn to the alveoli where they phagocytize infected cells. And behind us we have microscopic images of the pathogen that we are studying today. Which immune system cells are primarily targeted at the site of infection? A. Macrophages and neutrophils. B. Alveoli and goblet cells. The answer is A. Legionnaire's disease is the more severe form of pneumonia infection and produce the same symptoms. A majority of Legionnaire's disease cases come from the community, whether it be from aerosol droplets or through drinking contaminated water. Legionnaire's disease is characterized by fever, cough, and shortness of breath up to 2 weeks after initial exposure. Pontiac fever is the more milder form of infection and does not result in pneumonia. The symptoms are similar to the flu, such as, for example, fever. So some symptoms that we can see is fever, cough, nausea, and some muscle aches. Above, we have a medium of yeast and dark activated charcoal that is used to grow Legionella pneumophila. Respiratory samples from either the throat, saliva, or sputum can be used to grow Legionella pneumophila on a special medium containing yeast and charcoal, but can take up to 2 weeks to be analyzed. Urine antigen test is an affordable way to diagnose Legionella by detecting antigens in the lipopolysaccharide LPS in the outer membrane of the bacterium. The UAT can be used to detect the Legionella pneumophila serogroup 1, the antigen, up to 3 days following the first signs of symptoms. And above we have an example of a UAT test. PCR is the more efficient form of detecting all strains of Legionella and is better utilized on respiratory samples that are coming from the sputum rather than the urine or the blood. To conduct analysis, it does require specialized training, which can be more expensive depending on your hospital's financial resources. Which cellular component of Legionella pneumophila contains the antigens for a UAT test? A, the peptidoglycan cell wall, or B, LPS? The answer is B, LPS. Legionella can be concerning for the immunocompromised. In this scenario, the antibiotic above on the left, levofloxacin, can be administered for 3 weeks, whereas milder symptoms can be treated with levofloxacin between 3 days to up to 1 week. Legionella pneumophila are abundant in the environment, which is why it is important to keep water sources clean. Proper management of water management systems and water sources, for example, shower heads or domestic cooling systems shown on the right, can help prevent the spread of Legionella outbreaks. It is important to avoid stagnant water in low temperatures. Cleaning shower heads routinely can also be done to prevent the formation of biofilms. The water stored in domestic cooling systems should be kept below 20 degrees Celsius, which will significantly decrease the likelihood of Legionella growth. Water tanks should also be covered to prevent any contamination which could harm the public. The UAT and PCR tests have confirmed the presence of Legionella antigens in your patient. Your patient has had a mild cough and fever with an onset of 1 week now. Your patient is otherwise healthy and does not have any history of respiratory issues. Which antibiotic would you recommend, and for how long should your patient take it? A, levofloxacin for 1 week, or B, clindamycin for 2 weeks? The answer is A, levofloxacin for 1 week. And you win! Your patient made a successful recovery thanks to your research at Cardinal Hospital.